That
What
sounds
is it?
terrible.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's not sardines.
I would.
It used to be, it was a challenge they did for a long time. Because they not only had to open the can,
And eat it.
but they had to eat it. And it was so bad that as soon as they cracked the can, so many of them...
That's disgusting.
It was bad.
I don't even like fish at all, so I don't think I'd do well.
I'll see if I can find it after we're done. All right. Welcome back to the podcast Redeemed.
I found it.
Once again, we've already...
You found it.
It's on what? Vegemite or the other?
What kind of fish is it?
Sweden. It's a Swedish thing. It's a fermented herring.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Do you remember
Surströmming. Probably
Yep.
has a much different pronunciation, but that's how it's spelled. Surströmming. It's a fermented herring from the Baltic Sea. Has a pungent odor that some compare to dead bodies,
Yep.
dirty diapers, stinky cheese, and vinegar.
that? Ew.
Not meant to be eaten by itself. It says right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'd want to eat it with anything, though.
Nope. I'm not even sure why you'd have
What
it
would
in
you
your
put
house.
it with that would
Not a
make it
clue.
okay?
It's like yeah, that's a fair point. I don't know.
I'm sorry that we digressed there. We already had a conversation going before we started the podcast. And somehow Vegemite and whatever that...
Herring.
Surströmming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I'm not
Pickled
Swedish.
herring. Yeah, you are.
I am.
Yes.
I'm Swedish.
Okay, there you go.
I'm Norwegian at heart.
You're Norwegian. We're Norwegian and we're Swedish. We're Swedish on mom's side.
I'm pretty sure I'm more Norwegian than I am Swedish. I'm more of a
Yeah,
Viking
Gumsy's
than
going to start braiding his beard here in a minute.
some Swede.
Well, you are one, so.
Nah. Doubt it.
Nope, you are.
Man, I'm adopted. We've been through this.
Okay.
Straight from the boats of Norway.
Straight from the boats. No.
Straight from the fjords.
I've served with, what's his name? The Viking guy.
Me and Ragnar.
Yeah, Ragnar.
Me and Ragnar out there.
Ragnar.
Okay.
All right, should we just start over again?
Coward!
You don't want all this?
Oh, no, that's fine. I don't care. We can leave it. It might actually get more views. Who knows? You know
Probably
what I'm saying?
not.
Nobody's watching this.
Yeah. All right. Once again, we digress. We should really get back to what we're supposed to be talking about, and that is we're continuing on with our story of Joshua. He sent spies into Jericho, as we talked about in the last one.
Yep.
And now they are marching towards Jericho,
The great city.
and they come to the Jordan River.
Big river.
Well, what'd you say? 14, 11 to 14?
10 to 12 feet deep in some places.
So, I mean, that's pretty good.
You're not just walking across that.
No, you're not. And it was a flood stage, so I'm
Yep.
sure it was at the maximum it could be.
Yep.
And as soon as the priest with the Ark of the Covenant touched, the river just basically dried up.
That'd
But-
be crazy to see.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then once again, not only did it dry up, it dried up to where they could walk across it.
They don't get all muddy.
Yeah, they didn't even get their
Oh,
feet
right
dirty.
there.
you
We'll
know?
be cut off and stand up in a heap. So, yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
wall. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and it was further. It was a great distance away, which we were discussing that before we got started, and that would have been interesting because it said that it started backing up at a town called Adam. Can you imagine waking up in the morning
It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
and all of a sudden you have a lake?
Yeah.
Guys, what
Did it rain?
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody downstream is like, what happened to the river?
Where'd the river
It
go?
just would have been interesting. Once again, I
sure.
just wanted to make a note of it. Just God is moving that direction. Okay, now we come to the city of Jericho. Most of us have heard the story of Jericho. Most of us have seen the VeggieTale about.
It's just such a good veggie
Yeah,
tale.
Josh, the
It
big wall,
might-
the slushies and the Walminator
Yeah.
3000.
Might be my favorite.
It's a good veggie tale.
Yeah.
VeggieTales.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And so what do we have going on? Well, I like how it just starts out like this. Now, when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him. With a drawn sword in his hand, Joshua went up to him and asked, "Are you for us or for your enemies?" Now, what we were talking about, Joshua was very straightforward.
Yep.
Yep.
And nothing really frightened him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he...
No, he had God on his side.
And,
Yeah.
He wasn't afeared.
Yeah, and it's like the poor angel had better come with a good answer because I think Joshua probably would have thrown down with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, I mean, Joshua truly...
Yeah. He was a conqueror. That's what he was.
Yeah, well, and he knew God was on his side.
Yep.
And he just probably figured, God's with me. I got to take this guy out. I'll take this guy out. God's got me.
Now, When the angel answered, "Neither," he replied, "but as commander of the army of the Lord I have come." Now, then Joshua fell face down, which is a legit
Fair.
response. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? God's the commander. Oh, yes, okay. What can we do for you?
My bad about that whole which side are you on thing.
Yeah. That was a little aggressive.
Yep. And he tells him exactly the battle plan for how he's supposed to take out this city.
Yep.
Now, it is very...
Unconventional.
You think so?
Slightly.
Slightly. I mean, if I was to walk up and say, okay, you're going to take this city, and I've seen enough war movies to know that, there's some strategy involved.
I've never seen it done
I've never seen it done this way.
Only Veggie Tales.
That's right. Usually we have siege towers and catapults and giant, fireballs, and none of that. What do? We get everybody in a line, basically, and we start marching around the city.
We're going to walk.
Yep. How many times? 7 times. 7 times around this city.
Yep.
And then on the last time, what were they supposed to do?
I want to say exactly.
On the 7th day, they marched
When the
7
trumpets blow.
times.
What?
On the 7th day, they marched around the city 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Every
then
other
on
day
that last
it's-
time they were around, then the trumpets were going to blow, and then
Yeah.
they had to scream.
Yep.
And as soon as they screamed, what happened? My favorite part. And the walls came a-tumbling.
Well, and then blowing the trumpets, too. Trumpets was a big one.
Yeah, they blew the trumpets, and then they yelled.
Long blast on the trumpets. Have the whole army give a loud shout. Then the wall of the city will collapse, and the army will go up. Everyone straight in.
Mm-hmm. The 7th time around, when the priest sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the army, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." And what happened? It happened just like they said it would. The walls came tumbling down.
It's a good line, too, by Joshua.
Mhm.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. That's a good little rallying cry right before you go in and take a city.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you have these commanders that give up and give these big, long speeches, trying to get people motivated.
Yeah.
That was his motivation.
That was his speech right there. That was his William Wallace moment.
Yeah. Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. Woo, and away they go. And that's what happened. And they took everything. Yep. And Joshua said to the 2 men who had spied out the land, "Go into the prostitute's house, bring her out, and all who belong to her, in accordance with your oath to her."
Didn't forget her.
Nope. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was interesting, too, because I think in some of the commentaries it said that her house was actually part of the wall.
Correct, because... I'm going to go back to that chapter real fast. The commentary touched on that.
So I don't know. In my mind, I just have this vision of what that might have looked like since her house was part of the wall. There was just this one little piece of wall still standing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody get a ladder.
That's fine. Yep, it says right here, because in the commentary, there it is. Why did the spies visit the house of a prostitute? Fair question. No doubt good place to find out information and blend in with other travelers. Yeah. Also, a house that was a part of the city wall was best for a quick escape in case they were discovered.
Yeah. I don't know. In my mind, I always kind of had that weird thing, like, okay, so the whole wall fell down, but her piece was right fine.
Well, now I like to think that it was everything above her house too crumbled. It's just this one little EB section.
Yeah. Somebody get a ladder. Get him out. We laugh and we talk about it, but the amount of faith that Joshua had to actually follow through with the plan was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he didn't even question the Lord. He just did it.
Yeah, the guy's a conqueror, and God told him, "Okay, here's what you're gonna do, bud. Mm-hmm. Every day, 6 days, just walk around it one time, and then head home. Yeah, you did your job for the day.
Yeah. And be quiet while you do it.
Yeah. Nothing loud. Don't be hollering or nothing. Yep.
My kids couldn't do it. We'd be
Stay back at camp.
and then on that last day, this time you're really gonna throw them off, buddy. 7 times.
7 times.
All the way around it.
And I bet they were confused.
I'll be so confused.
Wait, what? They're marching again?
This is their plan?
Again? Oh, this can't be good.
Well, then they were probably, I don't know. They had probably sent people out there to inspect the wall and stuff like that. Like, what are they doing out there? They must be like trying to damage our wall. They're trying to figure out something. Mm-hmm. But nope, just taking a lap.
Just checking things out.
Yep. And then once again, God steps in and gives them the city. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
God's ways are the best ways, even when they don't make sense. And that's usually that's the theme that I usually pull from this, is that God's way is always best, it doesn't always make sense, and we need to do it without question.
And don't try to understand it.
No.
Joshua didn't try to understand it.
Yeah, he said okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That's what you want me to do. I'm on it, God.
Yep. And it worked. It worked well.
Yeah.
And so he was able to conquer the city, and it looked like with a very on his side of things, a very small amount of loss of life. You know what I'm saying? Where if he had actually attacked the city, many people would have died.
Yeah, because that's not what God had told him to do. Mm-hmm. For sure.
But just in the whole siege of a city, it would have cost,
Right. What I'm saying, it probably would have been worse because he would have gone opposite of what God had told him to do.
At least that's usually the way it turns out.
Yeah.
And the Israelites should know this because they tried that several times.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean, they do it again.
Yeah. And again.
And again.
And again. And again.
And then again after that.
Well, I've never credited people being very smart,
Nope.
So.
Nope. I say that every day.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.